Hi, my name is Sandra Valera Viljoen, and I have a organizational and leadership development consultancy called New Beginnings, which was founded in 2003. Before that, I was in the corporate industry and held a position of a sales and marketing executive for about 13 years. Anyway, so being in the self-development industry for the last 25 years, we've recently shifted our business to use a framework called systemic development. And as you can see, you probably recognize the logo that has a lot of familiarity with the integral quadrants, which is an integral part of what we do. So I'd like to share a little bit, and I'm going to share my screen to tell you a little bit about what we do. And I'm hoping it's going to be interesting enough for perhaps even to have as a keynote presentation at the Integral European Conference, or even to run a facilitated group. So basically, the framework that I use is built around our vision, which is inspiring leaders to make wiser decisions for the greater good of all, for a more sustainable emerging world of tomorrow, by embarking on a journey of continuous personal growth. So what we have done is use the integral theory in really focusing on those four areas. And the four areas are: the blue symbolizes the self-mastery, the self-development; the green, the relational mastery; the orange is leadership development in the doing; and finally, fourth, in the systemic integration. So what I think makes this model unique is that in the 23 years, and this model I've been using since 2016, one of the things since then, or before then, that I realized is I was doing a lot of things: coaching, doing team development, leadership development, but it wasn't sticky enough in the organization. It wasn't something that was scalable as easy from the top all the way down. And it wasn't systemic, and it wasn't sustainable. So I wanted to look for a framework that was practical, that had a path of simplistic tools that could allow organizations to change the culture from the top down. My framework includes four really important methodologies. So one of them is NLP-based neurosemantics, which really provides models and techniques on how to teach people how to run their own brain. And then, of course, the Enneagram, which how we use it is more to understand and to use it as a personal inquiry tool to understand your ego structure and your persona. And then systemic thinking, which is predominantly about team coaching systemically, with all the names that you see listed there. And it's really about how do you integrate all this learning into the organization. And of course, vertical development, which we use all those names. And if you are part of the integral world, you recognize a lot of them. Those theories and models that we've managed to integrate into a practical step-by-step. So we have 29 programs, and they're all color-coded and representing the four areas, as I mentioned earlier on. And there's a team of 17 collaborators who are all coaches all over the world that work with me on this framework. And basically, there are a couple of statements that we use. The first one is that culture is nothing more and nothing less than the way leaders behave, speak, and treat each other. And the second one is every business problem has a leadership problem waiting to be resolved. So those are the two statements. We also diagnose 7 leadership deceptions that we've identified, and then using the tools and practical application techniques that we will assist organizations to go through, and really focusing on leaders at the top. In fact, that was one of the biggest shifts in my organization in 2016, when I went from an organization servicing 50 organizations to only 5 by changing one rule, and that is if the CEO is not attending the training with me, then we just simply don't work with that organization. So there were 5 organizations that really tried this out, and I've got amazing case studies to share about each one of them. So you'll also notice part of what we do is And I wanted to share this one, which looks very similar to the Ken Wilber. I've given references there to all the models that we've incorporated. However, we've added, or we've labeled it in the way we frame this, because there's so much information and so much knowledge behind these models. We framed it as the 7 levels of awarenesses, and we use the ego structure as one of them. And we also use NLP as perspective awarenesses. So the way we've integrated them and the way we're framing it is slightly different, but a lot of the methodologies are still there from the original models. So if this is interesting, or if this sounds interesting and you would like to find out more, or you think it would be interesting for people in the field, I'll be really happy to share more in the Integral Conference, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.